Today we're dealing with the Breatharian Overstanding of Physical immortality. Overstanding, not understanding. What is the difference? There's a big difference. Now, first of all, is overstanding a real word? Because due to the age of technology and social media, there's a lot more people using that word and coining it now, especially in the African American population. But the reason I have to do this video, I'm seeing how they're using it. And sometimes I think we need to get understanding to see what overstanding is talking about and how to properly use it now. Because now the way we're going to use it is going to be different from its origination point. Now, this word been around for a very long time. And its origins is from the Caribbean, from the Breatharian movement. Yeah, that's where its creation come from. So it's been always around. It's just it hasn't been on a bigger scenario until now. It is great pace because, again, it's been being used again by your Pan-Africans and your African-American communities. Now, here we go now. Why did the Rastafarians start using this word overstanding? It has a great meaning on why they used it. Now, first of all, overstand means to understand something completely. It's more than just understanding it, because understanding is when you are aware of something. Okay, I got it. I understand. But would you really go deeper with it to learn the full picture of something? Now you have an overstanding. And again, look at these play on words. Understand is when you're standing up under something. You're standing up under the knowledge. Sort of like when you became aware of the constellations up in the sky. You always saw the stars, but isn't it good when you can meet somebody who's a little bit more knowledgeable and say, and look how those stars form. That's your Big Dipper. That's your Small Dipper. That's that constellation. That's what that star is called. That's a whole nother level, you understand. See how I use that word understand? Of awareness. But then when you start practicing it, when you can start naming them off, if you take it that far, that don't mean you have to. Then you start growing into a greater overstanding. Because knowledge comes in levels and degrees. Some people is on some levels of knowledge, they ain't get to the bigger pictures yet like others, and vice versa. Everybody's on different levels of degrees. But as you start growing, especially when you're specializing in a certain area and you're really into it, and you're growing and you're learning more and more, pretty soon you will grow into an overstanding person. And overstand, listen at that word. You're looking at another, your perception changed. You're looking at it from above. You're looking at it from a higher state of consciousness. The same situation, but you're looking at it differently. And it's sort of like, and this is how powerful it is. It's more than just words now. And this is how you know your third eye is open. Now listen at this concept. It's sort of like you're standing on the side of a road and a parade is going past you. But the only part of the parade you see is the part that comes into your vision. And then you'll see the next section come. This is where you at. But in spirituality, to use this analogy, now you're looking at the parade on a balcony, and you're looking down on the parade. And when you're looking down on it, you see more than just what goes in front of you. You also can see the beginning and the ending. In other words, your cognitive thinking skills is more aligned. You can see things more thoroughly in different situations. I heard a man today say most human beings' problem is they cannot control their emotional and mental thinking. Their emotional and mental thinking is getting away from them constantly, consistently. And we're in an age where depression and anxiety is on an all-time high. So it's not making it up. The statistics is showing it. So, but that don't mean it's over with. You just need to take a time out, understand it, put the work in, start getting control of those things so you can have a better understanding of your thoughts, because your thoughts is very powerful and is needed on a breatharian journey, which is the prerequisite for physical immortality. Yeah, I'm saying that. It's the prerequisite for physical immortality. I don't mean it's guaranteed, but it is a class you're going to have to go through. Absolutely. Controlling what goes into this hole. And you don't need to eat all the time. It's underrated. We already beat that 3 meals a day and all this other stuff. And there's people doing things all over the planet, breaking these records. But the thing about it, we're in an age of energy medicine. You have connection to other modes of energy. And this is why you got to use your mind now. You got to really educate yourself and get a full understanding on how to get these and tap into these other sources that is free. You got the sun that is responsible for giving this planet its energy. Go meditate on that one. Powerful entity. They're all the time working as fusion processes. You have access to it. Whether if it's a cloudy day, it doesn't matter. You are living in this atmosphere. And meditation is the foundation of this process because, again, as I go around, this is what I hear. I had some good conversations when the people said, and I always hear this, we was already doing these things before you came. But you made us get a better understanding of it. Look at that word understanding. Really an awareness. Making these energetic electrical connections. Just breaking up blockages. Making it happen. So you can, and when you break the flows of energy, you can heal yourself without a shadow of a doubt. And then as the practitioners stay in the game and learn more, then they too will have an understanding of everything we're talking about. And that's when you start getting into self-realization, which is self-empowerment. And what is self-empowerment? That means you just became a powerful person. It is very powerful to know how to heal yourself. Listen at that. Right there, that just freed you up to break away from the system. Other than that, you might as well keep your medical insurance because you're taking no responsibility on the mental thinking and the emotional body. But it's through another form of education, you must go learn some things. Now, people is being destroyed for lack of knowledge. I was just talking to some people, and this is how spirituality dumbed them down. But I don't want to think. I just want to sit there and I said, listen, young lady, go learn some things. That is not spirituality. The spirituality, as it was presented in ancient times, is a spiritual science. It's an energetic knowledge of working with the unseen forces. And you live in a what? Electromagnetic spectrum. A lot of these energies you can't even physically see, smell, or taste. But that don't mean nothing. You're hooked up to them. But you need an understanding to look down on it with another type of the way you're looking at things. And I just seen some good documentary dealing with Egypt. And this is what the woman scientist said. She said, the way we learned these pyramids was made before, it does not add up. I mean, somebody just pulled that out trying to make it fit. But now she said, even though we don't understand it now, we need to look at it differently. That's all she said. We need to look at it differently. That's why we're thinking more radical on the way we're looking at things and even dealing with space travel. Yeah, the technology is out there. But the technology we got now to really make those great distances, because space is big, somebody either going to have to what? live forever to make that trip, because you ain't coming back. You know, this earth is, everybody's still going to be there like that. That's a long distance going to the next local star. Or you're going to need another type of physics. Somebody's going to have to think of something differently to make this happen. So when we deal in this age of human potential, we're breaking records all over the board. Let's take Wim Hof, for instance. There weren't people in ice like they are right now. They was going to write that man off dead on some of the stuff he did, but once he did it, people doing it all over the place. Think about this. There was a time the biggest wave that was surfed was only 30 feet long. Nobody broke that for a long time, but once the first person broke it, everybody started breaking it. But going back into the Rastafarians, where they made up overstanding, why it came about. Because the idea of the Rastafarian movement was birthed in captivity. There was a warfare going on. So the people understood that now we're in captivity, and since we're in captivity, we got to endure this situation until the given time period comes when it's time to break free. So don't act like you don't understand what's happening or what's taking place, because this was already prophesied on this event that's taking place right now of our captivity. When you look at the scriptures and it said how people was going to be set captive and put all over the planet, we're crystal clear on what group of people that fit. Let's act like we don't. But that dispensation of time is over. So what the Rastafarians are saying, we're crystal clear. You already understand what's taking place. So now they didn't use the word understanding. They used the word overstanding, because since you know what's taking place, you need to overstand, look at it from another angle, and understand that this captivity is going to take place. There's nothing you can do about it until the dispensation of time is over. But now we're in a new age. We're going into a new phase. The word overstanding still exists, but now you got to bring back understanding also. It don't take the place of it, because some people ain't ready to bring on an overstanding. Oh, listen at this now. I want you to follow me. Because there's a lot of people do not understand that that last dispensation of the captivity is over. That's why the whole planet is shaking all over the planet. The society is changing. It's going into another level of consciousness collectively of all the children of the earth. Even the light in the atmosphere is at a higher frequency, a higher vibration. And the light affects the organism that we live in, which is the physical body. We have to lighten it up. So you need to be knowledgeable. You can't do the last things the generations did before you and get away with it. So you're taking part in your evolution. That's why the advent of the Breatharian knowledge is here. And it's getting stronger, gaining more pace, and it's going what? It can't be stopped. All the way to physical immortality. All your high-ups is working on physical immortality. A person who even say that out your mouth just because you can't do it or even think that thought to regenerate yourself, that's you. But there's some smart people out here who have a better understanding on what's taking place, making it happen. So now the word overstanding is when a person, not only the knowledge is presented to them and they're standing up under it, when you grasp it and go all inside, start bringing these things into your lifestyle, start transforming yourself, taking part of your evolution. Because you're going to change. You work with the light and see what happens. And don't give up. All that little stuff we're breaking off, that's child's play. We still, look at so-and-so. That's child's play. Stay in the game and let it transform you. And then what happens is you're going to have a deeper understanding. And about the time those people, you understand that you done outgrew, because it's going to happen, especially if they stand back. They can't even keep up with this intellect. Because you have a better understanding. You did things that was what? How they say, not go overboard, but you learned. You really wanted to learn. And the Breatharian knowledge is more than just working on ourselves. you start learning more about your physical environment. You start learning why the wind is blowing. Because I told you, spiritual people got dumbed down. That's what it was designed for. In order to transform the world, yes, you're going to transform the physical environment. Make new inventions that's not going to harm the environment and other life forms. Right? That don't mean you just sit back saying Om all day. Think about this. You got to think. And once you raise your vibration, because the Breatharian knowledge is teaching you that your physical body is your mind. It is your consciousness. It's the expansion of consciousness. And then the highest level is, this is why I say I'm God. Everything in my reality is me. It's me. I'm talking to me right now. I'm just not making this up. This is what I practice. It's me. So of course I could change myself. See where we're going? Levels and degrees. But you have a bigger understanding. That's how you start using it. So first when you get this knowledge, and you're dealing with people, first is the knowledge. Then it's the wisdom, the application. Because you could be applying something and still don't understand. Then you start showing them why they're doing these things, why certain times, certain cycles, how things work. And then the more the practitioner take off, they have a clearer understanding. Of course, you're going to be self-sufficient, freed up. They call that the God mind. You resurrected. Oh man, this is good. So this is what we're talking about, the Breatharian Overstanding. To be on this path, this is why I got to bring it up. You need an overstanding. You need a serious overstanding. Not just the knowledge, not just the wisdom. Those are levels and degrees. Not just to understand it, just stay up under it and just watching everybody else as they doing their thing. You know, being a devil's advocate, pointing here, pointing there, look at that, look at that. Get into the game. We playing, see, this is the game we chose to play. Yeah, life is a game. But when you know the rules to the game, it becomes exciting. It becomes fun. When you don't know the rules, life is miserable. So start playing the game that you chose for yourself. We playing this game. This is your world. This is your life. This is you. Oh man. So now we in it together. As we're coming up out of the captivity. So now we're changing the word overstanding, not just to take the place of understanding like the Rastafarians first came out with it. Now we just give it its own class. Because there's some people who have to come in as some understanding to understand where we at, the dispensation of time, and how they have to grow is being presented. They standing up under it. And then you got those who's all deep inside, who understand that they're God, who understand that they're going to transform themselves, who understand they can live forever. Yeah, your thoughts have what? Precedence on how you think. We're doing this. Oh, man. So I hope this made sense. I tried to break it down as much as possible. But stay in the game. We're one big entity, all of humanity. And the consciousness or the captivity I was talking about even isn't pointing to a group of people to blame. We're one entity. That's why the prophets knew this was going to take place, because the whole fall of consciousness went down. Everybody played the game. But as the whole planet shifts, and it is shifting, it has been shifting. I'm not going to talk mythical, give you a date, and at this time period, this is going, nah. We've been shifting, and you know it, for the better. We live in an age you learn more about meditation. Everybody talking about it more than ever before. More people learning about energy healing. More people learning about fasting, backing away from the table. Good, credible resources. And it can heal you from mostly any sickness, illness, and disease. If you know what you're doing, and go get some help. I see some people, I fasted such and such, beating up on themselves, don't know what they're doing. Have reasons, meanings for it. And then when you're dealing with the Breatharian knowledge, you keep working with the energy. I'm working with a group right now, and this is the longest group I've been working with. Everybody's changing. You have to. All they got to do is show up. That's all we're doing, showing up every day, up under the host of heaven. And everybody got their stories of what's taking place with the food. We ain't even preaching the food. It's taking care of itself. You know how you feel. Oh, I'm heavier now. But you know what it is. You ain't got to beat up on yourself. It'll purge yourself. You keep working with the energy, working with your energy body. You got energy going up and down your spinal cord constantly. Even when you sleep at night, your brain is detoxifying itself. It's all about brain health. That's like a river of those fluids going up and down, purging out that old toxic waste that was messing with the brain all day. Give yourself time, because time heals. And as we keep on moving on, all we're going to do is get stronger. That's why I say there ain't no slip-ups or mistakes. You're going to get stronger when you keep working with the light. Even where I'm at now, can you see where I'm going to be at in the next decade? I'm not playing, I'm all inside. I have a good overstanding, but it don't stop. Even when you get an overstanding, you keep on going. That's why I got to teach soon, coming with the story of Enoch. It says he walked with God for 365 days. That's esoteric knowledge. And he was so much in the game with a big overstanding that the higher forces or God had to come take him. This is what we're talking about. See, this stuff is real when you make it real, but you need another thought process of an overstanding. We can't go with the last way, looking for some external saviors and all this other stuff. Sort of like I was telling the group I was here. You know, it's like we're in this foxhole and everybody's trying to fight this invisible enemy. Ain't nobody coming. You got to do it. And all we need is a certain type of people to grow into this next dispensation. Only a small amount of people, that's all it takes to change the whole world. We ain't worried about everybody else. Because once one start tapping in knowledge, we're in a collective consciousness, the whole consciousness get affected. That's how strong the higher vibration is. And I'm not boosting bragging about myself. Yeah, I keep growing. It ain't gonna stop, because I keep growing. I know it. I'm clear. I have an overstanding. I ain't gotta argue, debate. I just keep working on myself. Watch this. And that same person that was talking this, all of a sudden they get in check. Because it's the force. It's the energy. And things that you're doing right now, you know is working for you. It is healthy and it's good. Stick with it. This is what we're talking about. And the other things, add them in slowly. You might be weak in this area. We ain't saying jump all the way like this. This is why people fail all the time or come up short. Even dealing with certain diet changes, going from this one to this one, being extreme. Take your time and grow. Be easy on yourself. Be nice. You're going to get there. You're an immortal. You got all day. But at least stay consistent, little by little. Oh, here we go. And you'll grow into this bigger overstanding, which is your, how we say, your higher self, your God mind. I mean, we can make up all types of names. But it is an overwhelming consciousness that you are a growing being. You're a thinking man, a thinking woman. You are the scientist. You are the philosopher. You are the technician. You're working with something. And see, we was exercising today. Exercise is so important. This physical matter. See, in the last spirituality religion, this was put down. Being sinful, being this. No, it's not. This is light. This is frozen light. You're working directly with the light. And don't act like God is invisible. You know why God became invisible? Somebody, what? When you didn't have an overstanding, and you was energetically blind, somebody taught you to look a different way. But you're looking at God right now. Never was invisible. See, even that old concept we say, something came from nothing. No, it didn't. Something always been here. Oh, we got to grow into this, but this is a bigger overstanding as you keep on growing on the path. So keep in mind, we got our understanding, and overstanding is just when you have a complete understanding of what we're talking about. Know thyself, and you should know God. Know thyself, and you should know the universe. Peace and blessings. Meditate on that one as we keep on getting our overstanding and growing more and more into the knowledge. Peace and blessings.